Next up, at UFC Vegas 86, we have Max Griffin taking on Jeremiah Wells. Max Griffin, 19-10. 3-2 in his last 5. He's coming off that decision loss to Michael Morales. He's taking on Jeremiah Wells. Jeremiah Wells is 12-3 overall, 4-1 in his last 5. He's coming off his first UFC loss. And this is an interesting matchup because Jeremiah Wells disappointed everybody in that last fight. The guy's got insane power in his hands. Yeah.
I mean, he was kind of steamrolling that whole fight.
Yeah, and then he disappointed everybody when he gave it up in the 3rd round. He was clearly the better fighter, but anyway.
Sometimes you say stupid things.
He didn't disappoint you? You were proud of him?
Well, I had Carlston, so.
Okay.
Made me proud.
You just hate that team blindly for no reason. Actually, I will address why you hate that team in a second. But anyway, Jeremiah Wells, nasty power in his hands, pretty good wrestler who will shoot real takedowns, and a very good grappler. His cardio was actually okay. Kind of failed him in his last fight. Ended up giving up an anaconda choke in the 3rd round in a fight that he was just dominating. But the reality is, he is good. He is aggressive. He can knock you on the feet. He can submit you on the ground, and he will wrestle you. And he's tough. We watched Matt Semmelsberger drop his ass 2-3 times in that 1st round, and he gutted through it and then ended up winning that fight. He was undefeated in the UFC until that last fight where, again, dominating, and then got submitted in that 3rd round. He's taking on Max Griffin. Max Griffin is a powerful striker. He's got some really solid knockouts, a total of 8 knockdowns in his UFC career. Not just a striker, though. He can grapple as well. He averages almost 2 takedowns per fight, and most recently, he was in that war with Tim Means where he took him down 3 times. He's coming off that one-sided loss to Michael Morales where he went 0 for 8 in takedown attempts, but he did have a little bit of success with control. Jacob, as you know, is a notorious hater of that Renzo Gracie Philly gym. I believe your position is they're good grapplers, but their striking sucks and it has not improved.
I don't say they're good. I say they're fucking fantastic grapplers.
But the striking sucks and it doesn't improve.
And they're fucking terrible. And then everyone was like, Sean Brady came in and out-grappled Kelvin Gastelum, and Joe Pyfer put me in a story and all this stuff. Like they proved me wrong somehow. It's like, no, he's a good grappler. That's what he did versus Kelvin Gastelum. Yeah, he fucking out-grappled. They're going to out-grapple everyone. They still can't strike for shit.
I do think Jeremiah Wells was the exception to that. No, like he could strike and he had some real power.
He's the worst striker of them all.
His technique is a little wild, but he has insane power and he's so fast.
He just swings like this.
But he's got insane power.
Yeah, look at the guy.
He also looks, he's not that old, but he looks like,
Not that old, they're both 38.
I know, but I would say Jeremiah Wells looks, like Max Griffin looks 28 and Jeremiah Wells looks like 40-something. Just based off these pictures alone. Not physiques. Jeremiah Wells looks 19 and a half with that physique. Anyway.
That's a 19-year-old body? What kind of high school is you hanging out at?
Lots of steroids. The nice towns, there's a lot of steroids in the high schools. But anyway, and I'm not saying he does steroids, for the record. Anyway.
Oh, boy. Yeah, well, that's
it.
Story.
That's it. Oh, sued for libel. There it goes. Anyway, I think Jeremiah Wells was a bit of an exception to that rule because he at least had insane power and was very fast and had a good chin. He is a durable guy for the most part, even though Carlson was able to exploit that. Max is also a very durable guy. His punches do lose power as fights go on. And even though he's got some decent takedown defense, I don't think it's going to matter here. I think Jeremiah Wells is going to be all in on the grappling. He'll get the takedowns. He'll grind out Max Griffin. I know there's going to be a lot of people out there like, oh, Max Griffin's pretty tough. Max Griffin's pretty good. And you're going to see the odds and be like, ooh, an underdog plus money. I don't think Max Griffin's going to be that guy this week. He is much better than a Julius Stoliarenko, much better than a Malcolm Gordon, so he's not quite like that level of don't bet on him. But I just don't think Malcolm Gordon's going to be able to win this fight because Jeremiah Wells, Max Griffin is going to be able to win this fight because I think Jeremiah Wells is just going to be all in on that wrestling, and it's just going to grind Max down. His power will be gone after the first, and Jeremiah Wells is the pretty straightforward pick. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah, I have conflicting ideologies here because Max Griffin, former lock of the week, right, against Morales. I was very high on Max. He came in, he won the first round. I felt good about it. I thought he's going to be able to grind the young kid out and win that fight. It didn't end up happening. You know, he started that third round, I think, with a takedown. I almost got a takedown that he might have been able to win that fight. He didn't end up winning that fight. So I like Max Payne Griffin a lot. I'm a big fan of his. And you already alluded to it. I have my thing with the Renzo Gracie team in Philly, which is so funny because I was the one that was touting them before anybody else. Nobody was a bigger fan. Before anybody knew who the fuck Pat Sabatini or anybody was, I was talking about Pat Sabatini and Jeremiah Wells and Andre Petrosky and all these guys and Sean Brady about this camp. And they just all did me wrong because they don't improve in their striking. I say all that to say this. I have my biases against and for both of these gentlemen. But my 2024 resolution, and so far it's been working pretty well, I've made up units every single card so far, is to put my biases aside, reassess fights, reassess situations. That's what I did here. And I think this is a good fight for Jeremiah Wells. I know a lot of people are going to come in and say, oh, Max has got this power, and he does have the power. He's got the straight line power, and he might clip Jeremiah Wells. I don't think it's going to matter. We've seen Jeremiah Wells survive those situations before, and even in those weird situations where he's hurt and he's scrambling around, he's still strong as fucking shit. And Max Griffin has good takedown defense. What's it on the screen? I don't know. 69% takedown defense. Pretty high takedown defense. Against Jeremiah Wells, when you're just that strong, that fucking shit doesn't matter. He's not defending a single leg or this or that. Jeremiah Wells just gets you in a body lock and just fucking picks you up and takes you down. He just literally just picks you up and takes you down. It doesn't matter if you have good takedown defense. He's just too strong in those positions. And once he gets you down, he is one of the best grapplers probably in this division. So I don't think it's going to matter if Jeremiah or if Max Griffin has power. I think Jeremiah Wells gets wild, gets in a clinch position, rips him down to the ground with just pure strength and just manhandle him there. And if I got to trust anybody's cardio between these two, Jeremiah Wells has shown that he has the cardio. I mean, that Carlston Harrison fight, he was grinding that entire time. It was perfectly fine in the third round. Max Griffin, I think, starts fading as the fight goes on. I think in that third round against that Morales fight, that's the reason why he couldn't finish that fight. He was a little bit gassed as he was going on. So I love Max Griffin, former lock of the week. I can't stand the Philly Renzo Gracie team, but I think Jeremiah Wells can dominate this fight, honestly. So I'm going Jeremiah Wells here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. There's a lot of love on the internet for Maxi Griffs over here. And there was like that last week for, what was everybody's favorite underdog last week? Who the hell got all the love? I know Julius Ferrenko got it. Yeah, Drew Dober got it. And I fell into the Drew Dober chat.
Well, he should have. I mean, he lost.
He could have won that fight.
Yeah. I mean, he lost that fight. I mean, going for that lap drop, and then he took himself down in the third round.
Yeah.
If he didn't take himself down, Moicano was in big trouble.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you there.
Well, last year, I lost fucking like $400 or $500 on Drew Dober. I live bet him $200. He was still plus money after the second. I'm like, oh, we're good. $200 to win like $250. This is easy money.
Yeah, because he lost that first round and then was like, ooh, tide just turning.
Smoking Moicano on the feet. Moicano couldn't get the takedowns, and then he fucking just lap drops himself into a fucking takedown and just doesn't move. It's like, Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, that stuff is insane. Get up. Like, that stuff is insanely frustrating. I don't think that'll be Jeremiah Wells, though. I think he's just going to come forward, diving at legs, and get these takedowns, and it should not be an issue. Very confident in Jeremiah. Sounds like you are as well. This line is tightening, so I'm going to keep an eye on it. I'm going to let it tighten some more. And if we get Jeremiah Wells in the 130-ish range, I mean, damn. Those are incredible odds. You could already get him at minus 140 at BetOpenly. If you don't know what BetOpenly is, it's not a sports book. It's peer-to-peer betting. And it's my money versus your money, your money versus somebody else's money. So you're going to get better odds because they're not the house. They're not trying to take your money. They're just facilitating bets between people.
You took my Pete money.
I did take that $100. Yeah, but I had to lay out $250 to get $100 or some bullshit. I got that so fast, though. So fast. That was incredible. Temba Garimba with the knockout. You know my favorite thing? First of all, everybody knows internet comment sections can be toxic wastelands. Everybody knows that. But it was funny. Some guy commented, and it wasn't... Some people will always comment wild outcomes so that in case it happens, they could be the genius. And this guy was like, Temba Garimba by KO. And it felt sincere. It didn't feel like just saying something stupid to like 3 days later be like, look what I said. And there was like 20, 30 comments like, idiot, you're going to regret that, blah, 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 blah. And then after it happened, it was so funny. Then tons of other people who weren't in on that at all were like, feel stupid now? It's like, geez, guys, that's the first thing you guys did? Go find the anonymous name, an idiot. It was fun to watch, though, because nobody saw that coming. People thought Demba was going to win, but not by knockout. So that was fun. WeWantPicks.com, click become a member at the top. Yeah, don't be such a casual. Fucking bum. If you have any life outside of watching fights, you're a casual. If every minute of every day isn't only watching fights and talking in Discords and tweeting things to people, you're a casual, and casuals are stupid. So don't be a casual, dork. Before you go, let me give you $50. Anybody who goes to WeWantPicks.com/bets and signs up with any one of our affiliate partners gets $50 as a thank you. Use the link, sign up, make a deposit. We send you $50 as a thank you.